Hi everyone, it's Rosetta here. Welcome back. Today we're making a journal. Well, I'm making a journal. Hopefully you join with me. Now I'm going to have some material. I've got some material here for the spine, which I got from an op shop. There's going to be 50 pages, 50 folded pages in the journal. There's going to be 5 signatures. So these are my pages. I just used various coffee dyed paper, grid paper, music paper, some colouring paper there. You can use whatever pages you like. So there's 50 of those pages folded. And we just need some bookboard as well. So 2 pieces of bookboard that I've just cut into the size of my pages, and I'm using vellum today. This vellum, these digitals are from VibeOfVintage. They're absolutely gorgeous, really Tim Holtzy sort of grungy style, which I love. So go check her Etsy channel out. I think she's got a sale on 45% off of the sale. So I think that's on until the 7th of April. So check it out. So I'm going to be using that to cover my bookboard. I think it's going to look gorgeous. I've got my I'm going to be doing 3-hole pamphlet stitch for the signatures, and this is the material, gorgeous material that I got from an op shop. I could not believe it when I saw it. Just beautiful. So I'm going to be using that material for the spine. So I've got my bookbinding stuff here as well. Some glue, and we're going to commence. Now, this book, it's not my invention. It is the fabulous Natasa from Treasure Books. Natasa is amazing. She's a genius. So as soon as I saw her video, it was posted I think about 7 days ago, a week ago. As soon as I saw it, I said, that's it, I'm going to be doing this, because I love making journals, but I hate the tediousness of journals. And I thought, wow, easiest journal ever, let's check it out. And it was pretty much easy. I mean, Natasa made it look very easy. So I'm not an expert, so I would say, yeah, it's easy for her standards, definitely. Now, I did stuff up, and you will see that when I do stuff up, when I realize what I'm doing, but that's all good. My next one will be better, but I do intend on making more of these, absolutely. Now, I'm just doing my signatures now. As I said, there's 50, so there's 5 signatures, 50 pages, 5 signatures, so 10 pages per signature. And I will be doing the 3-hole pamphlet stitch in her video. I will tag her into this video as well, of course. And she's shown other methods of binding. So she's the options are staple. You can staple your pages in. You can do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, or you can use the same binding thread that you use for a pamphlet stitch, and just wrap it around the pages and then tie them. And you can actually, I will be doing this in my next one for sure, and those pages actually slip in and out. You can slip other pages in there too, which is a really good idea. So I'm just going to be starting to bind the pages. Now, with my pages, it really didn't matter which way they were facing, upwards, downwards, so I didn't bother about that, which is great. But obviously, if you're doing pages and they've got a up and right side, bottom side, top side, you'll just need to worry about that. I use my large paper clips when I bind. I find that they hold the pages together when I'm putting the oar and making the holes. So yeah, I'm just going to show you one time when doing one signature. You obviously would have known, if you're new to the journaling community, 3-hole pamphlet stitch is very simple. It can be a little bit tedious, but especially if you're binding it to the the actual book cover, absolutely tedious. But doing it this way, you're binding each signature individually, which makes it a lot easier. So that's why this is what drew me to this. I do like the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but I really want to try the other method that Natasha used in her videos. So yeah, just going to show you the binding now for this one. And now I want to have my knot on the spine side of the outside of the signature, so I start from the outside. If you want the tie or the knot inside, then you start from the inside. Then either go to the top and then back down to the bottom and then back through the middle, and then sorry, I'm left-handed and I was using my right hand to do that hole, and so yeah, I just needed to make sure this hole is a little bit bigger. So as you do it, it does get easier and it's a lot quicker. So yeah, it works out quite well doing it this way. I really enjoyed it, and it took me maybe 5 minutes for all the oops, I I pulled the thread too tight on this, and I will have to start again? No, I won't. I just have to thread this through. So yeah, it doesn't take long once you've done the one and you get used to it. I haven't actually made a journal in a long time, so yeah, once you get going, it turns out fine. So as I'm now going to be tying it from the back, you just cut your strings and then go to the next signature. So I'm not going to show you all the signatures. I'll just show you this one, and I'm going to forward it the video. Now these little hanging edges will be taped down. I'm not going to do them yet, but they will be taped down. Now this is where I realized my mistake. On Natasha's one, you have to choose for each signature, you need to choose a cover for the signature. Now all the covers have to be the same size. Luckily my covers on the first page are the same size, so they're all A4, so it isn't a big deal. But she uses scrapbooking, is it scrapbook paper? Yeah, so it's like a cardstock sort of paper, and mine isn't cardstock, it's just normal copy paper. So it does turn out, so I'm just basically having to glue 2 copy pages together rather than gluing 2 scrapbook pages together to make a little bit firmer of a page. So yeah, realized my mistake, but what can you do? At this stage I'm going to be covering my book boards. So I'm going to be doing that using vellum. Just now looking to see which what I want for my front cover and what I want for my back cover. I absolutely love how this looks. The good thing about this VibeOfVintage, she does all the grunging already for you, which is great. You don't have to worry about all that. So that's why I thought on the book board it will look great. Now I'm just mitering my edges here. Obviously the first one, you never do the first one as good as the second one, so I don't know why I did this way, but it turned out fine. You'll see on my back side I actually fold it first, get the creases, then cut. But it turned out fine. Now what Natasha did is use double-sided tape as well as glue. I couldn't find my double-sided tape, so I just used my lovely craft glue, which is it's the smelly one. It's the base, I've forgotten the name of what it is, but it's just the fabric. It's like Fabri-Tac, so just using that to stick my vellum down. So I'm just going to stick the sides down, and I tried to not use too much glue. Some of them I used a little bit more than I should, so I had to wipe it down. So really on my next one I'll use less glue, and I will find my double-sided tape. So this being my first go, there was a couple of stuff ups, but in the end I think it turned out pretty good. So yeah, so hopefully you enjoy this video. I've talked enough and my cat is meowing at me, so I'm just going to put some music on and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Just finished sticking those the cords down. Now here you've got to be careful, do not glue next to the spine, so I'm using my ruler to measure where I do not want my glue to go. So do have to stick these pages together, but just leave that I think it's probably an inch at the spine to not glue down. Okay, now comes for me the best part. I just love doing the spine use with. I love material spines. Here it's quite easy. You've just got to remember again to leave or mark your space to where you are not gluing. So that for me it's 2 inches, which is the length of the ruler, and you've just got to mark that. And then what I do is I also mark where my material is going to go as well. Now Natasa states also with the material, you don't want it to be too loose and you don't want it to be too tight. You just want it to be just right. So here I didn't hold the material too tightly. I just stuck it down so it would just not cover the signatures nicely. So once we've got the material to bind the signatures together, we just got to do the front and the back covers. Here I'm just measuring where I want that front cover to go. I do want it to come out a little bit to like a normal book to cover the pages. Now obviously, because I made the mistake not having the scrapbook page as my cover for each signature, I have to actually stick this board to the page, and I would have preferred it to be scrapbook paper, so it actually gives it a little bit more of a sturdy finish. But in my next one I'll be making sure that I remember to do that. Here I'm just adding a book label to the front of the cover, giving it a little bit more of a vintage feel, and I'm also going to be putting book corners as well in the same sort of coppery colour. Really think this will add to the grunginess of this journal the way I wanted it to turn out. Going for like a Tim Holtzy sort of vibe. Really enjoyed the look of this journal. I don't like too much grunge, but a little bit of grunge is good. So yeah, definitely loving the way this is turning out, especially this beautiful front cover. Just now punching holes with my awl. Now those holes aren't deep enough. I realised that when I try to put the brads in, so the hole needs to be a lot deeper. So I did a little bit deeper hole, and here you can put tape behind these flattened brad ends, but I'm going to be using a lot of glue to stick this down, so didn't need to do that. I didn't think I needed to do that anyway. So now when I'm gluing the page down, I make sure that I do not glue to the very edge of that bookboard. The fabric side edge I want to glue to the very edge because you really want a nice finish, a flat finish, but I did not want to stick the page. I needed that little bit, maybe a 1/4 inch of leeway edge, so my paper, my bookboard sticks out a little bit outside of the paper. You'll see when I put this down, when I'm trying to measure it, I give it that 1/4 inch. Now this glue, the glue is not it's not dried. I didn't want to wait for the glue to dry to do this video. It would have probably taken me a few hours, and that's fine. When I finish this, I'm going to put a couple of heavy books down and really let it dry overnight, so it will be all good when I go to see it next. Putting some paper in between so the pages do not stick together, and really loving the way this is turning out. So done the front cover. I do want to put a book down just to make that really sort of press down onto the page. I don't really leave this very long. I leave it maybe 10 minutes, then come back. It's still wet, but I really wanted to finish this journal off. So just doing the back cover now and making sure that I leave that 1/4 of an inch. Now I used a little bit too much glue. I will make sure in the next one that I don't use as much glue. It's just seeping out a little bit, but hopefully when it does dry overnight, it's all good. Now the material is a little bit longer on the bottom side, but I will not notice that because it's not actually at the front cover, it's the back cover, so won't really notice that, but that's fine. I actually like a little bit of material to come up through my books on the top and the bottom. So yeah, love the way it looks when you have the little frayed material on the top and the bottom. So just going to glue this both sides now down and leave it, and this is the end result. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much again, Natasha. This is just gorgeous. Really love the way it turned out. Love how it lays flat. Really simple with the binding. Obviously I forgot to do some important things, but it worked out great. I love how flexible it is, and just love the feel of it in my hands. Just beautiful. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Go check out Natasha's channel. She's amazing. You probably already know. Absolute genius. And VibeOfVintage at Etsy. Thank you so much. Bye.